We were also excited about the PS5 when it first came out, but you know what? For me personally, the PlayStation 5 never existed. Lit it. Welcome to Game Jeff. Really appreciate you guys being here today. Today I want to talk about the PlayStation 5 in general because I have gotten to know something over time, and I'm sure that many of you guys have noticed the exact same thing. The PlayStation 5 was supposed to be the next hype, the next generation console that will take every other console out of the equation. The PlayStation 5 was supposed to be the console that will like blow us away, make us all go crazy. You know, 8K, fast loading time. You know, you have this crazy, you know, those crazy images, ray tracing. You have this new audio and super brand new types of games that we have never seen before. However, what I started to notice about the PlayStation 5 is that we really never have gotten any exclusive games for the PlayStation 5. Yes, maybe at the very end and maybe at the very beginning there were a few exclusive games, such as Ratchet and Clank and such as Demon Souls. Certain games like that were exclusively for the PlayStation 5, but honestly, I have noticed that there were so many games that came up for the PlayStation 5 that also came up for the PlayStation 4. Some of those games already came out for the PlayStation 4 and they just simply upscaled it to the PlayStation 5. You remember back in the old days when the new system came out, the new system always came with exclusive games that were only specifically for the system. Nowadays, what's happening is, and it even started with the PlayStation 4, but it was not as bad as the PlayStation 5, okay? PlayStation 4 had much more exclusive games than the PlayStation 5. Now what it feels like is that when the PlayStation 5 came out, it really feels like it's just an upscale of the PlayStation 4. We playing PlayStation 4 games upscale. That's all we do. There's no more exclusive games. Back in the old days, you had for example, the Nintendo. The Nintendo, and then you had the Super Nintendo, then you had the Nintendo 64. They all had different cartridges, so you could never play older games on the new system, It was completely exclusive. Now it's like, this is bothering the hell out of me, because it's kind of like, really, what's going on, PlayStation? What are you doing? Why are you so lazy? Why are you talking about PlayStation 6 already? We never even have seen any PlayStation 5 games. PlayStation 5 was such a hype. I was so excited about when it came out, but I have noticed that we really never have gotten any exclusive games. And now maybe at the end of the tail end of the system's generation, we're finally getting a few exclusive games that will not come up with PlayStation 4. But you know what's funny? I have heard people complaining about, like, oh, now we gotta buy a PlayStation 5 because I cannot play it on a PlayStation 4. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it is a PlayStation 5 game. Grow up with the system, okay? However, the system took so long for to upgrade in such a way that we're actually finally getting some exclusive games for the PlayStation 5. But my worry is simply that when the PlayStation 6 comes out, that we are gonna have the same thing all over again. All of a sudden, we're gonna get games for the PlayStation 6 and the PlayStation 5. And then maybe even the PlayStation 4. I mean, what the heck is going on? Why can't we just do one generation? And you know what? If it takes a little longer for the developers to upscale their games, to make it like fit for the actual system, you guys gotta stop slowing down making new consoles every 8 years, because that's also the problem. You're making a console every 8 years, and the developers have yet to catch on to the capacity of the PlayStation 5 to make games for that. And by the time they finally get it right, then you're making a new system already. You're making a PlayStation 6 and the PlayStation 7. As the system gets more and more powerful, it will take longer for the developers to make the games because it takes much more skill, much more work, much more manpower to create these games. So as the system becomes more powerful, the games will take longer to make. So which means that you cannot just create a new system every 8 years like you used to do. Okay? You guys gotta slow down. Okay? Because this is the problem. That is the problem. All right, so when the PlayStation 6 comes out, I think that we are finally getting to the point where we're actually getting exclusive games for the PlayStation 5. However, then people will start making PlayStation 6 games, and because they have no time to make these games for the PlayStation 6, they're going to do yet again. They're going to upscale the PlayStation 5's game to make it more crisper than for the PlayStation 6. And we're going to do the same thing all over again. We're going to play a whole bunch of PlayStation 5 games on the PlayStation 6, and we're never going to play any exclusive PlayStation 6 games. This sucks. This really sucks. And you guys really have to, you guys really have to slow down. You really have to slow down, because if we continue to do this, we will always going to be 2 generations behind on the system, because our games simply cannot keep up with the power of the system. Okay, slow down, PlayStation, slow down.